Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm excited to get into this one. It's been on my mind for a while lately, and as you guys saw by the title, I'm going to be discussing how FIFA is scamming their fans. This is my personal opinion. I'm going to be presenting some of the facts here, and yeah, we're going to get into it. But without further ado, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I'm excited to talk to you guys about this one. I hope I can shed some light onto the situation and provide you guys with some clarity on how FIFA is selling tickets. My goal with this is just to educate the average fan, the viewer who is looking to buy tickets or is upset by this ticketing process, because I know it's been stressful for me as well as many other fans. We've seen the discourse online, and it's not great, and FIFA is not getting many good reviews, we'll say, in terms of how they've laid out this ticketing process. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing I want to discuss is the tournament itself, because I think it's important to understand what decisions led to the ticket sales. So first of all, the tournament has been expanded. The FIFA World Cup is normally 32 teams, but it has been expanded to 48 nations participating. So this allows for FIFA to provide more games. 102 matches in total will be taking place just over a month. Yeah, the tournament's set to kick off just over a month away now. It's about a month in length, as I said, so there's going to be a lot of games, a lot of matches, and that allows FIFA to generate more revenue because, there's just more opportunity to sell tickets. So that's what kind of led to this whole expanded tournament, was the increasing of the nations participating, and now what we've seen is increase in ticket prices, and it's a bit concerning, because you would think more teams equals cheaper prices because there's more games and less demand for certain games, but that isn't necessarily the case here. So yeah, essentially FIFA uses what they call a variable pricing system, and this is essentially pre-planned prices, which is based on increasing demand. And then this is different from what they did at the 2022 World Cup, because at 2022, it was pre-announced the prices and the categories at which FIFA would be selling. So they've kind of changed their model a bit here. They're calling it variable pricing, which means ahead of time they have a bit of an idea of where the prices are going to be, but essentially they're adjusting prices after each sale phase to meet the demand. But what this has looked like for the most part is an increase in ticket prices from what they originally were at this first sale phase. So yeah, it is a bit confusing, but you can also call this dynamic pricing. FIFA doesn't like that term because it has a bit more of a negative outlook on their company. But dynamic pricing is, it's just adjusting prices in real time using algorithms based on fluctuating demand, inventory, and competitor data. In this instance, there's no competitor, but they are increasing the ticket prices based on demand, essentially. And for the most part, that's just getting more expensive as the sale phases go through. So let's talk a bit about what the actual sale phases are. And then, I'm going to break them down in a way that is understandable, essentially. So phase one was the Visa pre-sale draw. This initial sales phase is now concluded. It was the first sale phase from September 10th to the 19th. It was a lottery window style, and it was exclusively for eligible Visa cardholders. And this was to apply for tickets before the final schedule was finalized. So yeah, if you had a Visa card, you could apply through this sale phase, and it was pretty much a lottery. You would just say what country, what nation you're interested in watching, what stadium, and there's a slim chance of you getting selected. I know FIFA received a lot of requests for tickets in this sale phase, upwards of 100 million. So yeah, it does show you the demand for the tournament, but it doesn't paint the picture of which games in particular had the most demand. And then we moved on to the early ticket draw. This was from October 27th to the 31st. This was the second, also now concluded sale phase, which allowed the general public to enter a random selection draw for matches. So this one was a bit more specific. You could pick the matches that you wanted to attend, and there's a slim chance you could get selected. If you got selected, you could potentially buy tickets. Part of the issue that a lot of fans encountered was they would get selected to participate in these draws, but then when they would go to purchase tickets, the tickets would be completely sold out for that match. And what FIFA has done is they've really dispersed the areas or the sale phases where they release tickets. So maybe they'll only release 5% at this sale phase and 5% at the next. But they're not telling us that information. So from a fan point of view, it looks like they're running out of tickets. But in reality, they're still sitting on quite a few. So this is even increasing the demand even higher, where fans are panicking and they're thinking, oh, I might not be able to get a ticket here. When in reality, they still have tons of tickets that they're sitting on. And this is a term I like to call artificial scarcity. You guys may have heard this online already. Quite a few people are discussing this term. But essentially what it is what I just described, where FIFA disperses the tickets in a way that creates a panic to where fans are willing to pay higher prices because they think it's their last opportunity to purchase. And we'll see this later on with the later sale phases. So after the random selection draw, we had the last minute sale phase, which was from April 1st to July 19th. Actually, sorry, that's the one that we're in at the moment. Before that was the random selection draw. So this is a majority lottery phase where allowing fans to enter specific matches. So it was very similar to the early ticket draw, the one that I just described before. Yeah, and then finally the last minute sale phase, which is currently active, and then tickets are held on a first come, first served basis. And this is processed in real time. And tickets are kind of let out in a way over the few months that fans don't know when they're going to come out. So we're currently in the sale phase at the moment, and it's the last of the 4 sale phases. And FIFA is releasing tickets on random days without telling fans when they're going to be released, or what the prices are, or what the categories are going to be. So it creates even more confusion. And mass confusion leads into artificial scarcity. Sorry, I keep saying that wrong. But what they're doing is they're just dispersing tickets, creating confusion, and fans are then paying higher prices for tickets. So we now have their methods which they're using, and I just don't like the way that FIFA has gone about it. There's been very little transparency in terms of letting fans know when the tickets are going to come out. So I think this is an issue. They should have laid it out more clearly. I know with the sale phases as well, fans are having to wait in queues to enter the website, to enter the ticketing portal, I should say. And these queues have went for upwards of 8 hours, where fans have been practically all day waiting to enter the ticketing portal. And most of the time, the tickets that they want aren't even available. So it's really unfair to the viewer or to the supporter who wants to attend these matches. And I just don't think that FIFA has went about this process with much integrity. We've been waiting in these queues, and a lot of times they end up crashing or not even working. So that's part of the issue as well, is their website hasn't been working to where it should be. Fans have waited, like I said, upwards of 8 hours, and then it just crashes, or there's a login error, or sometimes you get into the ticketing portal and you're searching for tickets, but they just kick you out because you've been taking too long. And the time window they give you to search for tickets isn't very long either. So that's an issue. And the prices are being increased based on demand. So for example, I'm a Canadian supporter. I'm wanting to go to a game in Vancouver because that's near where I live. And Canada is playing 2 games in Vancouver against Qatar and Switzerland. And we've seen the prices just rise and rise and rise. And they did do a supporter sale phase where a very, very, I think it was about 5% of the tickets to that match, if not less, probably less actually, were given out to the supporters. But the issue with that is, it was just very low demand, so fans were not able to get a hold of them for the most part. And it might also affect the supporters that turn out, whether it's home supporting nations or traveling nation fans. It's going to affect the overall home feel of the tournament for Canada, US, and Mexico, where the fans aren't going to be able to show out in numbers like they would be if the prices were more affordable. So there's so many issues with this ticketing process. It's been really confusing for the average fan. And yeah, essentially the best bet now to get FIFA resale tickets is just to go to the resale sale phase where FIFA is selling their tickets, the resale marketplace, and wait in the queue to enter. Sometimes you don't have to wait because there isn't many fans at that point. But yeah, it's annoying because you can't filter which tickets you want. They only show you the seats and the prices, whatever it may be, but you have to click on each individual seat to actually see how much they cost. And that is a very timely process. So it'll give you the range of tickets. Let's say category 3, the cheapest ticket is $400 and the most expensive is $1,000. You're going to now have to go through every category 3 seat by clicking on each one and try to find the cheapest one available. You cannot filter for the cheapest ticket. So this is adding to that confusion. Maybe fans are willing to spend a bit extra money just to mitigate the effort that they're having to put in to acquire tickets now. So again, FIFA's making money. FIFA is charging a 15% sales tax on each ticket coming from the seller and the buyer. So they're making money on this as well, on each resale ticket sale, but they've already made money on the initial sale of the ticket. So they're charging a tax on the resale of each ticket as well, which is just adding to their ability to make money. And yeah, it's just a really, really confusing process. I would say your best bet to get tickets is actually through the marketplace, believe it or not. There is also a last-minute sales phase that is going on through the whole month, like I mentioned earlier. If you enter that ticketing portal, you can browse all the matches now, and you don't really have to wait in the queues, which is nice. I would check every morning around 8 a.m. local time. That's usually when FIFA releases the tickets. If you're in the United States, it's probably 11 a.m. But yeah, that'll help you get face value tickets. You're going to have to be checking constantly because FIFA is releasing them without telling us when they're going to be released. Into the confusion even further. So yeah, we don't know the categories. We don't know the price. We don't know the inventory that they have left. So it's a waiting game. I would refrain from jumping on tickets quickly because that's what FIFA wants you to do. If you wait it out till closer to the match day, you're more likely to get a cheaper price because I think certain fans are going to be more desperate to sell their tickets because fans won't be willing to pay these insane prices. I'm sure some will, but it's really for the rich, this tournament. Not necessarily rich, but like people who have money to spend upwards of $1,000 for one game just to sit in the nosebleeds of a stadium. That's the kind of money we're talking here and the kind of value that you get for your money. So it is in a way a bit disrespectful to fans who just want to support their team and just be there. Like I'm a Canadian fan. I would love to go to a match, but I'm just waiting for the ticket prices to drop at this point because it's been so expensive throughout. So yeah, like I said, they're using the mass confusion method, FIFA. The whole process has been extremely confusing for fans, waiting in queues, having only 15 minutes to look at games once they get into the queues, which is crazy because, like I said, it takes forever to find the cheapest seats or pick out the seats that you even want. But yeah, it's gonna continue like this, unfortunately. FIFA hasn't really addressed this issue particularly. President Gianni Infantino has actually defended the 2026 World Cup prices. He acknowledges that they are expensive, but he labels them as part of a special market, and he emphasizes the immense demand. With over 150 million requests, he says, for 6 to 7 million tickets. So that shows you the demand, but it also paints a picture of how FIFA has responded to that demand with their variable pricing. So the matches keep getting more expensive, and yeah, it's just a nightmare, honestly. FIFA claims to be a non-for-profit organization that generates nearly all its revenue in that 1 month of the World Cup to fund their global football for the next 4 years. So that's how Infantino is justifying this ticket sales, is saying that he's going to fund all the FIFA projects over the years with this. I don't find that necessarily to be the truth, because there was the Club World Cup last year that generated revenue. There's other tournaments. FIFA has a lot of different things going on, and I don't think it's like very clear, provides much clarity for us as like, oh, we're supporting FIFA to fund all their projects. It's like, okay, why don't you go find revenue somewhere else instead of charging fans, FIFA's going to make $10 billion off of this tournament. So that shows you the kind of money they're making. It's projected to generate roughly $3 billion in revenue just from hospitality and ticket sales alone, marking a massive increase from the roughly $950 million that was generated in Qatar in 2022. So yeah, the total revenue for the 2026 cycle is expected to be $10 billion. That's the kind of money they're pulling in. Their revenue is coming from total match day income, so driven by the expanded format, 104 matches. Price increase, ticket prices have surged due to high demand and dynamic pricing, as I discussed, with reports suggesting top-tier Category 1 tickets for the finals could exceed $10,000. It's going to be more than that even. I've seen tickets going for $40,000 for the finals, and that's like the bottom pricing. That's not even the craziest, because fans can list their tickets for however much they want once they purchase them, right? So yeah, it is crazy what they're doing. But yeah, guys, I recommend going to the marketplace, being patient. Honestly, like you kind of have to check every day to see if prices are dropping or staying the same. You have to monitor it, but it's really what fans are charging, whatever they're selling their tickets at. It might not even be fans; it might just be scalpers that are trying to get more money. But yeah, that's gonna conclude my video on World Cup pricing, dynamic pricing, artificial scarcity, mass confusion, you name it. There's methods that FIFA are using. I forgot to mention the category system, but the category system is changing as well. At the beginning, they had their categories, category 1 through to 4 with the pricing. They're changing where those categories actually are in the stadium in terms of what seats are applied to each category. They're changing for each sale phase, which is another way of confusing fans and making more money for FIFA. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts down below. That was a kind of a quick overview of how FIFA has been scamming their fans, in my opinion, trying to make as much money as possible by really just not providing clarity. But yeah, make sure you guys hit subscribe and stay tuned for my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.